There are many different martial arts that have come to the front over the years, from kickboxing to karate, from tai chi to taekwondo. But one that seems to be so often overlooked is that of boxing. Boxing is often dismissed as just punching, but that overlooks the depth, skill, and discipline it takes, and why it should be recognized as one of the most complete and underrated martial arts. Boxing's history dates back millennia. Ancient carvings in Egypt and Greece show combatants exchanging blows with leather-wrapped fists. Boxing entered the ancient Olympic Games in 688 BC, governed by rules and ideals of honor. That spirit faded, but the modern revival came in the 18th century in England, evolving into bare-knuckle prize fighting, where brute force and courage clashed in marathons lasting dozens of rounds. By 1867, the Marquis of Queensberry rules introduced gloves, timed rounds, and weighted divisions, transforming boxing into a science. Fighters like Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, and Sugar Ray Robinson became global icons, known not just for power, but for rhythm, strategy, and grace. Over time, boxing spread worldwide, embedded into cultures as a rite of passage. From Mexican barrios to inner-city gyms, it became a teacher of resilience and respect. A gym where discipline and survival intersect in every round. Let's break down some of the core skills. At its core, boxing cultivates 4 critical components. First up is elite striking. Training hones 4 fundamental tools: jab, cross, hook, and uppercut. Boxers spend endless hours drilling punch mechanics, hip rotation, weight transfer, timing, all aimed at delivering maximum power with efficiency. Modern sports science confirms that boxing generates more energy per square inch than any other unarmed strike. Then we have rock-solid defense. Boxing isn't just about hitting, it's about not getting hit. Defensive tools like slipping, parrying, bobbing, weaving, and blocking from a disciplined choreography meant to avoid damage while setting opportunities. Video analysis confirms that elite boxers evade 60 to 70% of what's thrown, an advanced level of defensive mastery. Then, footwork and distance control. They often compare boxing to chess with blood. Fighters use subtle pivots, jumps, and angle changes to evade, counter, and dominate space. The best strikers understand distance. Landing a powerful punch means nothing if it costs you balance. And then finally, mental fortitude. In the ring, fatigue, adrenaline, and pain create a crucible where mental strength is forged. Sparring replicates combat stress. Fighters learn to manage fear, respond under pressure, and adapt. Testimonies from trainers and fighters emphasize boxing as a masterclass in resilience. Boxing doesn't just build stronger arms, it refines the mind, body, and spirit as an integrated martial art. So what about its real-world effectiveness? Well, boxing is practical and transferable. Even a beginner knows fundamental strikes, defense, and timing. Support grows in self-defense communities for beginners learning boxing basics like jab-cross combinations taught for their immediate efficacy. Street altercations rarely start on the ground. Space and control matter. Core boxing skills help distance management and threat recognition, giving non-violent resolution space. When punches are necessary, they land with intent, ending conflict quickly. But how does it match up against other martial arts? Well, boxing differs from other systems but it also complements them. Looking at Muay Thai, it includes kicks, knees and elbows, but often adapts aggressive strikes. Boxing may lack clinch tools unless cross-trained, yet boxing builds sharper jab power and head movement. Then karate and taekwondo. These involve formal stances and electric kicks, but they often lack boxing's footwork, fluidity, or defensive timing under pressure. Boxing influence transformed MMA and traditional strikers. Then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. They rule the ground. But boxing's stand-up dominance means fights often end before ever going down to the ground. MMA today reflects this. Most fighters come from boxing backgrounds. The global rise of MMA shows boxing's essential role. Strong strikers almost always have boxing roots. So what are the personal stories and cultural impacts that we can say from boxing? Boxing stories are legendary. Ali's refusal to fight in Vietnam, Joe Louis uniting Americans, Muhammad Ali inspiring civil rights. But deeper are the everyday fighters, kids in tough neighborhoods finding discipline in the ring, mentors who saved athletes through mentorship, turning potential trouble into triumph. Consider the story of the World Gay Boxing Championships. It began in Barcelona in 2017, creating an inclusive space that challenges stereotypes whilst harnessing boxing's empowerment and confidence-building effects. Globally, boxing shapes communities, from refugee centres in Europe to Indigenous Australian gyms, helping individuals reclaim agency. So what about modern developments? Well, boxing's no longer strictly a men's sport. Women have surged into participation, headlining major events. Mixed ability programs, non-contact cardio boxing, and inclusive tournaments are redefining the sport's image. Boxing now focuses on wellness, mental health, and community outreach. Tech innovators like VR, data analysis, and scientific training all enhance preparation, injury prevention, and athletic development. Moreover, grassroots efforts bring boxing to prisons, rehab centres, and underfunded schools. Studies show efficacy in reducing recidivism and improving self-esteem. Boxing is now recognised as therapy, rehabilitation, and social uplift. So, is boxing underrated? Absolutely. It's not just punching. It's footwork, strategy, resilience, history, community, and modern innovation. Whether for self-defense, health, discipline, or transformation, boxing remains a complete martial art worthy of far more respect than it's given. Boxing may be old. Some traditions see it as simple, but it's never been easy. It's science, art, and grit, all bundled into the ring. If this resonated, please do like and subscribe. Tell someone boxing deserves more credit, and maybe lace up the gloves and feel the truth firsthand.